All the rage? Oh my god, this episode from the Loud House sucks. I'll give you the reasons why this episode sucks in my opinion. The episode starts when it's dodgeball week for gym class, and Mr. Bolofner is coaching the class due to Coach Keck being at a teacher's conference. This, of course, is bad news for Lincoln, Zach, Liam, Rusty and Stella, who don't stand a chance against Girl Jordan and her team. As they play, Clyde arrives to join alongside his friends. He explains to his friends that he was watching Desert Storm last night and got angry over the announcement that his favorite contestant, Zamir, got disqualified for using a non-regulated whisk. As Clyde vents about his favorite contestant getting eliminated over a trivial reason, his friends discover that Clyde's anger has allowed him to take out everyone on Girl Jordan's team effortlessly. Once Clyde leaves to calm himself down, the gang says that as long as they can harness Clyde's anger, they can get through dodgeball week painlessly. Before long, the gang spends the week ticking off Clyde during their dodgeball matches so they can win. Tuesday, Lincoln ticks off Clyde by asking him if the dodgeball he's holding is non-regulation. Wednesday, Rusty ticks off Clyde by arriving while wearing a chef's outfit and asks if he'd be disqualified by playing in it. Thursday, Stella ticks off Clyde by making a pre-game quiche, which she got the recipe from Zamir's blog. Friday, Liam ticks off Clyde by asking for help in scratching his back with a whisk. Later, as the gang eats lunch, they express their relief that dodgeball week is over. As they eat, they take note that Clyde is picking up litter, remembering that litter is one of his biggest pet peeves. Later, as Lincoln heads home, Mr. Bolofner approaches him and expresses surprise at how much his team has improved. He says that because Coach Keck is stuck at the conference, he'll be taking over gym class again, says that they're going to do more dodgeball, and reveals that on Monday, they'll be playing against the 8th graders. The next day, Lincoln relays this news to his friends, but just when they state that they still have Clyde's anger in hand, Clyde arrives and tells his friends that Zamir was let back onto Desert Storm after the show realized that he really was using a regulated whisk and has been offered a spin-off show as well for compensation. Realizing that their motivation to take off Clyde is now gone, Lincoln proclaims that they need to do everything they can to make him angry again. With the game in 2 hours, the gang attempts to make Clyde angry thorough any possible way but end up going in a different direction than hoped. First, they attempt to tick off Clyde by having Rusty chew gum with his mouth open right in front of him, but instead of Clyde getting angry, he instead becomes sick. Second, Lincoln attempts to tick off Clyde by showing him a picture of Cliff in a Santa Claus outfit made by Leanie on Halloween. Clyde is initially angry at the fact that the outfit doesn't make sense, but then Meryl arrives and alleviates Clyde's anger by saying positive things about the image. In a last-ditch effort, and with only 15 minutes left until the game, Lincoln says they need to push Clyde's biggest button yet, littering. After dumping bags of garbage on the school's blacktop, Clyde arrives and notices the garbage on the ground. Clyde becomes angry as a result, but instead of heading to the gym, he instead marches over to Principal Ramirez's office to give her a piece of his mind, claiming that she's allowing the students to litter. Knowing that Clyde will get suspended should he lash out at their school principal, they approach him just before he can enter and admit that they littered the courtyard, saying that they only wanted to make him angry so that he can use that anger to help them out during dodgeball. As a result, Clyde expresses immense disappointment in his friends, not only because they littered, but because they used him. At that moment, the gang proceed to head to the gym to play their dodgeball match and tell Clyde to sit out, saying he doesn't deserve to be pummeled. At the gym, the gang is ready to face the 8th graders. Before the game begins, one of the 8th graders eats a candy bar and proceeds to toss the wrapper on the ground. Clyde, sitting on the bleachers, witnesses this and, getting triggered by the sight of litter, immediately comes to his friend's defense and furiously takes out the 8th graders. With all the 8th graders out, Clyde's friends thank him for saving their butts and to make it up to him, offer to clean up their litter on the blacktop. The moment they're done cleaning up, Mr. Bolofner arrives and says that a Viking dodgeball team from Iceland he told Lincoln of earlier has sailed over to the US to play against them. Intimidated by their hulking appearances, Rusty quickly litters, hoping to set off Clyde so he can help them out again. And the episode ends. And that's how the episode goes. Thank God I never watched it and I never will, or else it would waste my time. I don't know who likes or hates this episode, so I'm just going to leave it be. So screw all the rage. And screw musical chairs. Bummer Camp is 6 million times better than all the rage. End of rant.